Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for this week's video. Before we get into it, I would like to welcome all the new subscribers. Welcome to our little family. There's been a few new subscribers in the last few weeks and it's just so exciting to see this channel grow. And it really just encourages me to make more videos like this. And I hope today's video will be encouraging for you and that it will help you in your undergraduate or postgraduate degree in nursing. So without further ado, let's get into it. Today we are going to talk about academic writing. Okay, so today I'm going to share 5 different tips that helped me in my academic writing in either my undergraduate or postgraduate. So the things that I have learned, the things that have helped me to go from a good enough grade to a really good grade. So I hope that this will be really helpful for you. Let's get into it. So the first tip is organize your time. So if you're getting your assignment today, give yourself 2 weeks. So in those 2 weeks, you want to make sure that the first week you do your research piece, right? And then the second week you do your writing. You start doing your writing. Many times they kind of give you like 3 weeks to get your assignment in. Sometimes assignments are like back to back and it's so hard to actually plan it all and organize yourself. So if it is less than 3 weeks, obviously maybe time yourself accordingly. But I used to give myself 2 weeks. And basically the first week I would do 2 things. I would look at the question and literally take out the keywords that I'm seeing in that question, and then go to the search engine. So CINAHL, PubMed, PsycInfo, and sometimes Google Scholar, and just put in all these keywords and find something, help myself to find something. And so the first week would just be me accumulating all the research articles that would support me in writing my assignment the following week. Sometimes I would go to the library and find books around that, but I always had books that I really used a lot. It was mostly the Royal Marsden, and yeah, it was the Royal Marsden, really. That was the main book that I would use for all the kind of general nursing questions. But if there were other books to find in the library that would help me, I would always look for them as well. So that was the first thing that I would do. And then the second week, I would basically use all my research articles to start writing my assignment. And then I would have 1 week left then to just kind of go over a few things that maybe I haven't had a chance to go over, like referencing and stuff like that. So that's the first tip that I used. The second tip that I would say is do not print all your research articles that you find. Do not. You can photocopy the books, the chapters that you feel are going to be really useful for you, but do not print everything because you're not going to read every single thing. So there's no point of doing that. It's not good for the environment. You're just basically just wasting paper. And I know for some people this works, but there is an easier way, which is basically just saving all your articles in a folder on your laptop and just going into that every now and again. And you can highlight it, Word, PDF, you can still highlight. It's actually usually PDF, not Word. So yeah, you can do that and still do really well, because the more you're printing, there's no need for it, because you're going to be using mostly the abstract and maybe the research method that they've used, the outcomes, the conclusions. That's your main areas that you need to be focusing on, not reading the whole thing, because you just won't have enough time to do that. So that's the second point. The third point is make sure you are critically writing. So what does that mean? It means that if you're making a point, so for example, if I was to say, transformation leadership has shown to improve employee satisfaction among nurses, I would then need to have an article that is supporting that, but an article that is supporting a different leadership style that improves satisfaction of nurses. That way, I'm not biased. I'm very objective. I'm showing the reader that this is a point I'm making, however, the evidence shows pro and against. And then it's basically up to you, the reader, to make the conclusion. So that's kind of like a way that you can do, you know, be critically analytic when you're writing. And that's really something that really helped me a lot. And if you use that all throughout your assignment, you'll see how your grades will improve, because that is the level that they need. They don't want you to persuade them of a viewpoint. They want you to make a point, argue pro and against it, and then drive that message and make sure that it flows and it's chronological. So that's my third point. My fourth point is referencing. Make sure you reference a lot. So you don't want to give an assignment that has just like 5 references. It would be very difficult to get a good grade with that. I'm not saying you wouldn't, but it would be very, very, very difficult, because most assignments are like long, like 3,000 words, and you need to show extensive research, like reading that you've done around that topic, and really impress the lecturer. So you need to have, like, I would say 15 to 20 references, which is why you don't need to print out everything, but you don't need to use everything in those articles. It's just whatever stands out most to you and is helping you answer the question, use it, but you don't have to use everything in the articles. Another really important thing is, and I'm sure a lot of you know this, but when you're reading an article so for example, if I'm reading an article about, I don't know, servant leadership, I look at that article and then I go to the reference list, and I can find lots and lots and lots of references there on leadership that I can look up, like different articles that maybe I had searched, and maybe my search wasn't so extensive and I wasn't able to find them. And so that's a really like important thing that you can learn to do. When you're reading an article, go to the reference list and look at some of the articles that they were able to find to use in that article, and then use that. And it's really good. Like, it will help strengthen your assignment and the credibility of it and the richness of your assignment. So that is the fourth point. The fifth point, which is really important, and I know it's probably one of the most difficult ones, is reading your feedback every time you get your assignment back. Whether you get a good result or not, always read your feedback, because that's how you will know what you did right and what you didn't do so good, and how you can improve. There's always room for improvement. And it's just one of those little ways that you can really improve your academic writing, looking at feedback. I remember there were times where I would get feedback, and I would get kind of like feedback on what I did well, but there wasn't enough on what I could do to improve it. And for me, I had to like write back and say, like, I would like a more detailed feedback to help my learning and to help improve my academic writing. And so the more feedback I got in any assignment, the better I was able to improve. And so yeah, they're the 5 tips that I would like to impart onto you to help you improve your academic writing. If there's anything that you also find really helpful, please put it in the comment section below, because somebody else might read that and it might be really useful and helpful for them. And if there's any of the tips that I've given you today and you try them and they work, please do put them in the comment section as well. Or if you need more advice on a specific point or tip that I've talked about today, please put it in the comment section below and I'll be more than happy to reply. So yeah, that's really it. And the last thing I want to say is, at the end of the day, we are not to ever be in competition with another person's grade, ever. And I know it's probably easier said than done, but at the end of the day, you have to have a goal for yourself. You need to set a goal for yourself. So if your goal is to get a 2.3, that's your goal. And do the best that you can, mind yourself, but do the best that you can academically to get the 2.3. If your goal is a 2.2, do the best that you can to get that 2.2. And when you do get it, celebrate and be super happy and proud of yourself. If your goal is a 1.1 and you want to get that, and that's the goal you've set for yourself, do the best that you can to get that. And when you get that, be proud of yourself. Whatever goal you've set for yourself, when you get that, be proud of yourself, because that's the hard work you've put in. That's the goal you've set for yourself, and it is worth celebrating over. So please do not ever compare yourself to somebody else, because at the end of the day, this is your journey, and definitely something that you need to be proud of when you achieve, because it's not easy. You put in a lot of work, a lot of time, and yeah. So I hope you guys keep doing really well in your assignments. If there's any other tips that you'd like me to go into more detail, please let me know. If you found this video really helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe so that you can see more videos like that, and do hit the bell notification so that if a new video comes, you will get notified. Until next time, stay safe, stay blessed. Bye.